Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar. Hope everybody's having a great day. I'm here with Yael Kochman, and we're going to talk about optimizing your video strategy for your website and on your socials. So everyone's just joining right now. We'll give it a couple of minutes here. For anyone that's here, if you'd like to drop your URL in the chat, say hi, and let us know where you're dialing in from. And in just a minute, I will introduce Yael and we can get started here. But yeah, today we're going to talk about optimizing video strategy, and we want to make it interactive. So please do feel free to jump in the chat, ask any questions you might have. And I'm Dave Saxton. So I've had a long history in e-commerce and online advertising, and both on the B2B and the B2B side. And I'm with Start Growth Partner here, where we help to produce webinars like this. And very happy to be here with Yael from Bywith today.
Happy to be here as well, Dave.
Yeah. So I guess we could kick it off in just a moment. Maybe I will just give you a quick introduction, and we can talk about the agenda a little bit. So Yael was selected as one of the under 40 promising leaders in Israel, and named one of the 59 female marketers to follow by HubSpot. As a golfer, 59 is a special number, so I'm not sure where that came from. But also one of the top 100 influential people in retail technology. And Yael co-founded Retech, which is a retail tech innovation hub. And now she is the CMO at Bywith. And again, we're going to talk about optimizing video strategy for your site and your socials. And we're going to start off with Yael giving us a couple of tips, and then do some live interactive analysis. So again, just tips to help convert your customers, and then go over a couple of case studies and some live interactive evaluations. So Yael, I will hand it over to you.
Thanks, Dave, for the lovely introduction, and hi to Kevin all the way from Georgia. Would love to see some more people engaging in the chat, telling us where you're dialing in from. Our goal for today is to help you sell more on your e-commerce, right? And it's not going to be a one-side thing where only I'm talking and you're listening. You need to be active. So get your energies going, and I'll start. I'll do the beginning so that we can warm up. Hi, Julieta from Argentina. Good to have you with us today. So let's get started. I'll get us warmed up, and then we'll have you guys jump in as well. So I'm going to be sharing my screen here. Oh, sorry, that's the last slide, but we want to start from the first slide, right? That's usually how it goes. So welcome to our webinar today, where we are going to talk about how to turn your static e-commerce into a video commerce machine that converts more. Before we dive in, a little bit about Bywith. So you guessed it, we are a video commerce platform. How did you know? So yes, we are a video commerce platform that converts more. We have been working for quite a few years now with some of the leading brands in the world. Our largest market is in the US, but we're also working with clients across Europe, Latin America, Australia, and India, I think, and some other places. And as you can see, we are working with brands from different industries, from fashion and beauty to food and groceries, and all the way to home and consumer electronics. So yeah, video is a brilliant strategy for any brand, whatever industry that you're in. And before we really dive deep into what Bywith does, I want to talk about KPIs, right? Because at the end of the day, we're here to succeed in what we're doing. And in order for us to succeed, the first thing we need to do is to set the right KPIs. And KPIs can vary, from company to company, depending also on what your role is. So, things can change. And I would like to ask you guys, if you can just put in the chat, if you can take a look at this table here on the screen, and you see this 12 different KPIs, which of those KPIs matters most to you in your current role, in your current company. What is it? Is it conversion rate? Is it monetization, cart abandonment? There's also a quick survey here that you can just, we made it easier for you. I think you can, yeah, you can answer multiple, right? You can choose more than one. So just choose however many you want. And I will just say that in the last few years, we've seen a pretty sharp move from those kind of softer KPIs, right? We used to talk about engagement rate. You can see it on kind of the left side here, engagement rate and brand loyalty and awareness. In the last few years, all everyone wants to see is revenue, right? Where's my money? How many sales we're driving? We want to talk about our ROI, return on investment. We want to talk about ROAS, return on ad spend. This is what we're looking, and this is what we see from our customers, that they are looking to grow. On the other hand, there is obviously things that we're trying to reduce, like return rate. You know, we've made those sales. We don't want customers to be returning the items, and return rate with e-commerce is super, super high. So everyone's trying to reduce it, and obviously reducing cart abandonment. Come on, you added the product to the cart. Just go ahead and finish the process. And a lot of websites, you know, are doing a lot of work to optimize the checkout process as well. Let's see the answers of the poll. Do we have answers already? I don't know if we can see the answers.
So I'm looking at the poll. It looks like conversion rate is the highest response rate that we've gotten. After that is average order value. And it looks like ROI and return on ad spend and user acquisition and influencer monetization are all just about even here.
Very interesting. Okay. So we have a varied group here today, so that's good. So, okay. So now a little bit about Bywith. So what do? We actually transform your e-commerce into a dynamic video commerce machine. And how we do it? How do we do it? We basically have two different solutions. One is our shoppable videos, which is mainly what we're going to be talking today. You know that today's consumers are very digitally savvy, digital native. They don't want to go to a website and see some static images and some boring text. I mean, not trying to offend anyone, but this is how most e-commerce websites look today, right? And when you come to a website and you're used to that, you know, social experience where you go on TikTok and you have videos and you can swipe and you can scroll and it's all very engaging. And then you go to a website and it's just like static and boring. That explains the low conversion rates, right? We go to that website and it's just not engaging. So we know that today, around 98% of the people that go to an e-commerce website end up not buying anything, which is crazy. You know, we pay a lot of money to get those people to our websites, and then they come, they look around and they leave. So shoppable videos, we know today that video converts 48% more than static images. And yeah, so this is, you know, the main thing that Bywith is doing, whether it's through live shopping events or short shoppable videos. We have an AI engine that takes your long form video content and cuts it into short shoppable video snippets that you can place across your own website or your social media campaigns, email marketing campaigns, whatever marketing channels you're using, and use those videos to convert your shoppers. And then the other
48% is big. No, I was just commenting on the 48% number. That is a
it's not my number. It's, you know, it's a study you know, that's been walking around the last couple of years. Each study has a different number. Sometimes I see, you know, 35%, 48%, but we know the video converts more, right? It's more engaging. So that's one side. And then the other side is the one-to-one live commerce. So that's more suitable if your product is kind of like on the more expensive side of the price range, or if it's a little bit more complex. You know, if I'm going to buy a computer I want to know the functionalities of the different computers the company has. If I want to buy a designer dress for an event, I might need some help, choosing the right dress. Obviously, it's e-commerce. I can't try it on. So I want someone like an expert to help me choose. So the one-to-one live commerce is essentially a widget that sits on your website, on your e-commerce website. Customers can click on it. They can go live on video with an agent straight away, or they can schedule a time that's convenient to them. And, conversion rates there are obviously breaking the ceiling. But it's a tool that's not relevant for everyone. If you're selling t-shirts, probably it's not the right tool for you, as opposed to the shoppable videos, which is relevant for any product, any industry, any price range. So we'll focus more on that part today. So if you were talking about KPIs earlier, those are the KPIs that we're seeing at Bywith. So on the top line, you have standard e-commerce industry standards. We already talked about conversion rate. It's around 2%. Return on ad spend, very low today. If I make the same amount of money that I spent to bring the client to my website, I'm happy. With shoppable videos, we see between 5 to 15x return on ad spend. Those numbers are crazy. Engagement rate, obviously that's the key, right? If you get them engaged in your product, in your content, then they're going to be buying from you. If you don't get them engaged, they're going to leave. And then we also talked about return rates. We're looking to get them down. Obviously, when somebody is more engaged and they have more information about the product, they are making more informed buying decisions. So they're less likely to return the product as well. And returns are a pain for retailers and e-commerce companies. Obviously, by the time the product returns, you need to check it. You need to put it back in the warehouse, put it back in the store, try to resell it at the end of the season. You don't want to go there. So we're trying to really reduce that. So what it looks like, this is what it looks like on your website. Those are just, 2 examples of what those shoppable videos can look like on your website. I can actually show you a live example instead. So this is basically a kind of like what we call the VOD, where you can see multiple videos. All those videos are shoppable. You can click on them here
so many times online.
Actually,
I've never bought any.
You can swipe between them. So it's very much like the social experience that we all know from TikTok and other social media platforms. But the difference is it sits on your website. So it's your traffic, your customers. It's white labeled. It has your colors, your data, everything. And then you can obviously discover videos by creators, categories, and products and different things. So that's what it looks like on the website. Obviously, there's the mobile version as well. And you can, those videos can be tailored to they can be customized to, to your brand, your style, to make it really resonate with your audience. But then those same videos that, remember, we're using AI to create those videos. So it takes a lot of the workload of your team. Those same videos can be also used on social media campaigns, anywhere from, Instagram and Facebook to any other platform where you can promote those videos and get them to do the hard work for you and to get people to buy. And that's it. We didn't come to talk about Bywith. We came to talk about why video works and how you can make it work for your brand, right? So I'm going to share a few tips. Obviously, there are a lot, but I chose a few tips that we've been seeing from the learnings we've had with our customers throughout the years. And the first tip is make it authentic. So obviously, authenticity builds trust. You really want to have, you don't want to have an ad that was produced in a studio with 10 different cameras and, somebody reading off a script. Nobody is going to care about that. Forget about the fact that it's going to cost you a lot of money, right? You need to hire a studio and equipment and get some professional presenter to show up. You don't need all that. You need a good presenter. We'll talk about that in a moment. And you need a simple solution that that people can use from their own home, from just, if you have a store, if you're not just e-commerce, you have stores, use the store as a setting for your video, use your own customers, use your employees to make those authentic videos with content that will actually resonate with the audience. Have the presenter talk about why they like those products, how they, how they're using those products, right? Make it like personalized to them. So that's key, right? People feel when the content is not authentic, when it's something that's trying to just sell them something, people feel that and they bounce. The second thing is keep it short and snappy. People don't have long attention spans. I mean, think about this webinar today. I could have talked for hours, but we made it just 45 minutes. We don't want to take a lot of your time. You're busy people. So are your shoppers. They don't have time to to listen to long videos. And I can tell you that on our platform, so we have a lot of customers that are going on live shopping events. Those live shopping events usually last anywhere between 20 to 40 minutes, sometimes a bit longer. People usually stay between 15 to 20 minutes. Now that's quite a lot, but that's because it's a live event. You're a lot more engaged. This is kind of like the webinar we're doing now. We're hoping you guys will stay from longer than 15 minutes, but it's a live event. So it's a different story. But once the event ends and you have a recording of that event, nobody is going to sit and watch that recording of 40 minutes. Nobody, trust me. And this is exactly why we came up with that AI tool that takes that long form content and cuts it into short shoppable snippets. So you can see the timelines on these videos here. Our snippets are anywhere from like 20 seconds to 2 minutes, tops, no more than that. More than 2 minutes, people are not going to listen. The advantage is we also make them shoppable with this, buy buttons. But even if they're not shoppable, just make sure they're short, get to the point quickly. Even if it's like a 2-minute video, which is a little bit longer, some people are going to stay for the whole 2 minutes, but get to your point in the first 30 seconds. The younger your audience, obviously, the shorter the content needs to be. And then, okay, so we already touched a little bit about that. You need to select the right presenter for your video content. So with video, unlike other, if it's an image and you can take a really nice picture of your product, with video, you need to actually have a person there presenting. It's very difficult for people to engage with content that doesn't have a real person in it. We might be moving towards, AI and digital avatars in the future, but for now, people really want to engage with people. So who is going to be your presenter? It can be someone from your brand. If you're a small brand, the owner of the brand, someone, leading the brand that can talk about the vision of the brand and kind of connect everyone. If it's a bigger brand, obviously you're not going to get the CEO or the founder you can get them to maybe 1 or 2 videos. But if you want to scale, choose from your own employees, people who are more, good with camera, good with engaging people. We have a lot of customers who are doing that and just empowering their employees. It gives them something extra to do, even if they're sellers in the store. Sometimes they have some some quiet times that they can go on somewhere to the side and create that video. So just empower them to do that. Sorry, I'm going to drink some water now.
And if anyone has any questions as we go, feel free to just drop them in the chat. And also, if you'd like Yael to have a look at your site, you can drop your URL in there as well.
Exactly. We said you guys need to be engaged as well. So we're waiting for your questions and your websites. So it can be someone from your brand, or it can be a creator, an influencer. There are today tons of people who are really, really amazing at creating content. But if you're choosing a creator or an influencer, it can't be just a random person, right? Just the fact that they have 5 million followers doesn't mean that they're the right fit for your brand. It has to be someone that has the right community. So let's say if you're a brand like Patagonia, for example, you need someone who, who likes to travel, who likes outdoors, who likes skiing. and they're talking about it on their social media channels. And that way you would know that their followers are also interested in those areas. This is key. You know, if the presenter of the video is not engaged with the kind of product you're selling, it's not going to be authentic, and then it's not going to work. Fourth tip, call to action. So they're watching your video. That's great. What's next? What do you expect them to do once they watch the video? You need to always create a clear call to action. It doesn't always have to be a hard sell. Watch this video and go buy the product. It can be, but it can also be, you know, follow us, share this video, whatever it is you want them to do, you need to tell them. People are not going to do it if you're not going to tell them what to do. So with our live shopping events, for example, what we do is we have this one button that you see here in the middle of the screen. Whenever the host is talking about a specific product, the one button pops up in the middle of the screen. People can click on it and they can add the product directly to their shopping cart. So what it does, it creates a clear call to action. It also makes the shopping experience very seamless. It cuts, you know, the funnel, because it adds the product directly to the cart. You want to make it very easy for them to make that purchase.
And yeah, I just want to add, we've gotten some more responses to our poll here. So we were asking what KPIs matter the most, and conversion rate has just leapt up there to 78% right now, over average order value of 22%, user acquisitions at 11%, ROI is at 22%. That's probably tied to conversion rate. And then influencer monetization is down at 11%. So this is very relevant to what people are looking for.
Exactly. If you want them to convert, make it easy for them, make it clear for them to know what to do. And then the last tip for today is go multi-platform. So don't just settle for one platform for your videos. You can reuse your video content across different channels. I'm sure some of you are already doing that. If you have great video content, definitely use it across all channels. And, you know, it's very easy today to go on a live event from any, you know, Instagram account or whatever, but then it stays on there, you know, it's only on Instagram. So it's great for that, you know, half an hour or 20 minutes or whatever that you're doing that live, but what happens after that? So the best practice, what we're seeing that works for our customers is it's best to host the event on your own website. That way you have the most control over the experience, the data, the funnel, the conversion, the brand, and everything. But then you need to choose a platform that actually enables you to multi-stream to other platforms. So we multi-stream from the website at the same time in real time to you know, to Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and all the other platforms. And then if it's content that you've already created and you know, and it's not live, obviously it's easy. Just, you know, with a click of a button, if you have a marketing automation platform, you can send an email marketing campaign. You can use it across SMS's campaign. You can use it across paid media campaigns. So don't just leave it, you know, on one platform. Just use it to boost exposure across all of your platforms. And just to kind of summarize and to give you a closing for today's session, I wanted to share a case study from one of our customers, which is a leading US retailer. Obviously, I can't say who, but they're one of the biggest retailers in the US. They sell pretty much everything from, you know, groceries to fashion, beauty, and everything. And they've used Bywith video commerce platform to publish their video snippets as paid media ads. And they were actually one of the first clients we've done this with. And this is why the results were so surprising to us even. We were not expecting this. So what happened was, this client has been with us for a while. So we already had a lot of their content because they did a few live shopping events, and we had that content from the live shopping events, and we just didn't know what to do with those videos. So we said, okay, we can't reuse those videos as is, because again, they're like 40 minutes long. Nobody's gonna wanna see them. And this is how we embedded the AI engine to cut those into short shoppable videos. And we then put those shoppable videos on Meta. We advertise them on the client's account on Facebook and Instagram. And the beginning was, a little bit slow. You can see here, day 1 to 5, we achieved less than 50% ROAS. Not bad for a beginning, but not what we were hoping for. But then the second term, day 6 to 10, it started climbing up. We got to 81%. Third period was when things started getting interesting because we became profitable, right? So we were now making more than what we were spending. So that's already a start. But then from there, we started climbing really, really fast. We went to 571%, 970, and the last, the last couple of days of that month, we got to basically 15x return on ad spend. So we got to a point where we were spending $600 more or less paid per day and making $10,000 in sales. Obviously, if we would put $6,000 on the ads, you can do the math. It's endless. And the reason why we think this worked so well, two main factors. One is the content was very authentic. So this company was only using creators to create the content, not some big celebrities. They were simple creators, people like you and me, David, sitting in their home talking about products that they are already using, right? So things they're using in their kitchen, things that they like to wear, things for their kids, whatever. And they were just talking in front of the camera and telling the audience in real time. There is something about this real time that generates enthusiasm and energy and all of that. So the content was really, really great. And then the other thing is, because we had a handful of videos and then we used AI to cut them into many short videos, we ended up having dozens of videos. Dozens. I think we had more than 100. And then what happened was we were able to A/B test the content, right? So if you're producing an ad in a studio, you're going to have one ad, two ads tops, not much optimization that you can do with that. But if you have dozens of videos, you can really put them to the test and see what works, what doesn't. And then we start seeing what converts more, and we doubled the budget for those and we killed the other ones. So I'm not saying everything is working. Some ads did not perform as well, but we just killed them and multiplied the budget for the other ones. So those were the two main factors that helped this client succeed: authentic content and the option to optimize multiple videos. And that's it for me today. We'd love to take any questions before we jump into doing some case studies for you guys. Yeah, do we have any questions today?
Does anybody have a question? Throw it out there. Or does anybody want to have their site, to have Yael take a look at their site while we're all here together?
Well, we did.
We have a quiet audience. Are there a couple that you want to go over? Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Okay, we're starting. Great. I see a question here. Do you allow to put logos in your content? Yeah, sure. Why not? What we learned, though, is that the more neutral the content is, the better it works. So, less branding, especially on social media. If you do it on your website, it's fine. Obviously, they know they're on your website. But if you put it on social media, try to avoid, you can put your logo as a small logo on the side, but I wouldn't, we tested videos that were heavily branded. They didn't perform as well.
Right. The ideal number of minutes for a video on a Shopify product page.
I don't know if there is a difference between Shopify and other platforms, but I would say the ideal is anywhere between 30 to 60 seconds.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say the same thing. Is it seconds or is it minutes? Right.
Exactly.
All right. You want to have a look at trains.com?
Yes, let's do that. I actually want to look first. So we actually have 2 volunteers that volunteered their websites. So we have Scrub Daddy. I don't know if we actually have someone from Scrub Daddy on the webinar currently. If you're here, say hi in the chat so we know you're here. And we have Patagonia as well. Oh, here you are, Juliana. Great. Good. Okay. So let's start. I'm going to share my screen again. Wait. I need to close the presentation first. Apparently. Okay. So let's start with the Patagonia. I am sure everyone is familiar with the brand. So I think it's easier for us to understand when it's a brand that we're familiar with. And I took a quick look at the Patagonia website a bit earlier. Obviously, there are a lot of videos here, right? This is a brand that invests heavily in videos. You have different stories here, like this green buffalo. You can watch the trailer here. We're not going to watch everything, but you're free to go to the website and watch it afterwards. What I would say is that, we talked about having a call to action. Here you can see a call to action to watch the video. So, but when you watch the video, there's no call to action on what do I need to do next after the video. So that's something that I think is key to add. I also think that, Patagonia is an amazing brand, but the products are a bit more on the more expensive side of things, and they are used for different activities. So if I'm on the website and I want to buy, some clothing or some equipment for hiking or for ski, I wouldn't necessarily be comfortable choosing on my own unless I'm a repeating customer. So having kind of like a one-to-one live commerce experience, like I talked about before, is something that would be very, very helpful, at least to me. Also, if we look at the inside pages, the category pages, this is one of the category pages, women's new arrivals. So this is exactly what we talked about. I mean, the images look great. They're really high quality images, but they're just images, right? I think adding a carousel of videos on the top here, or even adding some of those, replacing some of those images with videos would make them much more engaging. Even if you go into a product page, you can see the same images. There is even, there is a spot here. There is a blank spot just waiting to have a video inserted here into the product page, so the people, when they're coming to the product page, they can click on the video and see the product in action, and decide if they want to buy the product. Any questions about that? Or okay, so if not, we'll move to another website, Scrub Daddy. This one made huge headlines of, following the appearance of the founder on Shark Tank. I actually rewatched it the other day. I obviously I didn't know you guys are going to be here in the webinar, but my husband and I watched this the pitch that Scrub Daddy did on Shark Tank. It was really, really amazing, and this is a product that the whole product works around the story, right? Around the community. There's so much potential for video here, and the brand actually invests in videos. You can see here, if you scroll down on the homepage, you can see there is a strip here of different videos. It says Scrub on social. If you click on it,
I love
there's a
hating.
video
I'm a
here.
certified hater, always and forever.
So what I would say is, first of all, it's a great start to already have videos on your website. That's amazing. What I'm missing here is there's no presenter. I mean, I like that it's kind of, it's very, very colorful and attractive, but I would still like to see who's the person that's speaking to me. And then again, the call to action. I mean, okay, there is a video here. If I want to buy the product, what do I do? Where do I go? You have to have, you know, a call to action button that the person can click and go and buy the product. And then if you go to Scrub, that is product pages, they actually have the video on the product page as well, which I think is amazing. This is where, you know, if we want to increase conversion rate, we all agreed that this is the main goal, the holy grail. So you manage to get the person on your product page. You need to give them whatever they need in order to make that buying decision. And here is where video counts most. So having that video here on the product page is amazing. On the product page, you don't necessarily need to have a call to action in the video because they're in the product page. They have the add to cart button right here. It's blue and big, and it's very easy to click on it. So yeah, so that's about that.
We have a question from Kevin, a practical question about whether having videos on the site slows down your load speed, and does that potentially lead to a slower site, which would obviously lead to fewer conversions?
So that's a great question. So I have two answers. One is, and it's definitely a valid one, because videos are obviously very heavy. So one thing you can do is you can basically load your videos after the rest of the website loads. That's one option. And there are tools today in the market. I'm gonna put a name here. I have no, other than the fact that I'm a client of their Speed Size. This is a really great tool, not very expensive, and they optimize all of your visual content. So videos, images, everything, you upload them in maximum quality to the website, and they make sure to optimize it so it doesn't create a loading problem. So yeah, just recommend to take a look at that. Yeah, and I think we had someone else who put his website. Yeah, we have Kevin here with trains.com. Let's take a look at the website here. David, feel free to jump in if you see anything. Well, the website is very, it looks fun, right? You go into the website, you already want to buy something because it looks so fun. Let's see if we can see some videos here. We definitely see Google reviews.
Yes, I'm a fan of
All videos.
I have a Lionel set, a vintage Lionel train set at home, and there's nothing more fun than setting it up to go around the Christmas tree once a year. I'd love to see some videos like that of like different contextual ways to interact. You know, some people have the, you know, big train set with the, you know, the characters and it's in a location. Other people take them out every once in a while and play with them.
I think this is, again, this is a brand that screams for video content, right? You can take those trains and you can shoot them in different places. You can have, I mean, kids are selling, right? If you get, you know, I don't know about you know, regulation and those sort of things, but if you can get some kids to play with your trains or even adults, I think that's fun. But one first mistake is, I click on the video and it opens on a new window.
Welcome to Trains.
So that's not great, guys. You're driving traffic outside of your website. You obviously made a lot of effort to get us to go into the website. Don't drive us out of it. You have to embed those videos into your website and not send people over to YouTube. It's great to have videos on YouTube as well, if you have a community there and people are watching the videos, but you want to be driving them from YouTube to your website and not vice versa. So if you are using videos on social media platforms, always make sure to have links, you know, in the videos so that people can go back to the website and buy. But if you're using the videos on the website, you have to embed them. Even if I click on all videos here, I go to YouTube. So that's my big tip for today. Let's see.
You say they're not really using video today, right? So I guess if we looked at it as, where are the opportunities? Is it in the product detail page? I can see a lot.
I'd say it's everywhere, right? You want to have videos on your homepage. You can do it in a very gentle way, right? You don't have to have the videos cover the entire homepage, but you can have like a banner on the side with a video. Obviously, it has to be a shoppable video because eventually you want them to not just watch the video, you want them to buy. You can have inside of the product pages as well. I think this is, again, as I said, this is one of the main opportunities. If you I'll see if I have an example here to show. Let's see. I want to show an example of a video on a product page. Yes, I have it here. Well, we saw an example on the Scrub Daddy website as well. This is just a mock-up, but here you can see what it looks like when you have a video on your product page. You can click on it.
It's going to be very beneficial for you to start off with something that,
and then that's increases engagement, increases conversion. I think this is a great opportunity here, and I would also maybe use them on here on the category page as well, because I come here and there are a lot of different trains. It's hard for people when they have a lot of choice to know what they want to buy, and when they're watching a video, they're engaged with this one specific product, and then they can swipe between different videos to go to the next product, and then every time they're engaged with this one specific product, it makes the buying decision just so much easier for them.
Thanks, Yael. And I just put in the chat there also a link if anybody is interested in booking a one-on-one conversation. We have a link to do that.
Perfect.
One more site, if you want to take a look at theordinary.com.
Ordinary.com. Let's see. Let me share my screen again. Well, first of all, I love the banner here. Yeah, I think this is really looks very modern, very sleek. I like also the packaging of the products. I think people today are looking for, especially when it comes to products that I'm going to be using on my body, on my skin, or in my body, I want to make sure that they're not containing anything dangerous. So I love the clean look, and yeah, well, obviously it implies from the name of the brand, The Ordinary. So yeah, I like that. Let's see if we can spot any videos here. Okay, so I don't see any videos on the actual product page. Let's see. On the homepage, sorry, but we also don't see them on the product page. I love that the images are big here. I would say regardless of videos, your add to cart button is below the fold. That's not recommended, right? Because people here, they don't see the add to cart button. So what you want to do is you want to actually make this full text shorter. Okay, you can put more text at the bottom, but first you want to get them engaged with the product and have it make it very easy for them to buy. So this, yeah, connect with us. I'm gonna shut it down. So this whole section where they choose the quantity and the price and add to cart, this needs to move more towards the top. And then
Balancing clarifying serum is part of our multi-app.
Okay, it's a little bit stuck. I would say I didn't know that it's a video. So, people are used to specific symbols, right? So we're used to having this play button to indicate a video. Don't try to be smart. Just give them the play button so they'll know it's a video. If you can do it like the example that from Scrub Daddy, that the video automatically plays, that's much better, right? You don't want to get them to work for it, right? You want to make it automatically play. But then if I click on the
Range.
video,
These formulations have at least 4 active ingredients,
little bit
each
long.
included to address a different concern. This serum has 7 skin
it
clearing
looks like a
technologies
good video. Let's see if there is.
formulated for blemish-prone skin. N-acetylglucosamine provides surface
Yeah, I'm gonna shut it down. It looks like a really good video. What I would say is if you have this thing here where I can potentially scroll, just make sure that it's working because it wasn't working for me, and make it autoplay. Those are my best tips. But I love the website, so clean and inviting. Do we have anyone else or?
This is the last chance. Anybody want to hop in? Any questions? Well, great job, Yael. I think there was a lot of valuable information. Some of those numbers really jumped out at me too. I'd love to look into those a little bit more and see what some of the potential might be.
Sure, anytime. Anytime, Dave. And yeah, to everyone on the call today, thank you so much.
If you have time, we got one more in there. Might as well take a
We
quick
got
look.
one more?
We do.
Let's do it.
We've got
Why
a couple
not?
more.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, pasta sauce reimagined. Well, I love pasta. I have a pasta machine at home. I see this might look like a video here. Yeah. What is happening? They want me to use my microphone. I am not clear on what I should be doing here now. Okay. I love it that there is a video here. I would actually make it maybe a little bit bigger, or maybe put like a frame, because the way it sits here on the image, you know, it's like an image on an image. So I might have missed it if I wasn't specifically looking for a video. So try to make it stand out a little bit more. And again, I wasn't clear that it's actually a video because it looks like rotating images. So maybe, you know, just play the video or put a play button on it, but really love it. We have that as well, to have this kind of pop-up banner. Make sure that it's shoppable, that you can actually click on some button to actually go and buy the product afterwards, and make it clear for people like what do they need to do, because I didn't understand the whole buttons thing about allowing my microphone. That was a little bit strange. Let's see if we can see anything on product pages. You guys ship to Israel? I would definitely buy the sauce. This looks amazing.
That was good. I'm getting hungry now.
Exactly. I mean, again, tons of video content that could be created, like, you know, recipes and ideas and you know, things like that. So yeah, I don't on this specific product, I don't see a video. Maybe we have it on another product. Yeah, recipes. So of course, recipes can go on video as well.
Good visuals.
Yeah. Yeah, amazing visuals. If you can get the same photographer to also shoot your videos, maybe. But yeah, I think this is the main one, unless is there anything in the chat that explains if there are any other videos on the website?
Question of whether Bywith is able to provide creators for the content.
We can help with that. So we actually have a marketplace of different agencies around the world that we vetted and we know that they can deliver. So we can actually match you with the right agency or the right creators platform to help you source creators for your content, definitely.
Okay, well, terrific. Well, thank you again, Yael. Amazing information in there. I feel like I learned a lot. And we have some links and email if anybody has more questions and they want to follow up, but I think we're just about at time now.
Thank you, Dave, so much. It's been really fun. And thank you everyone for joining us today. I'd love to, you know, if anyone is interested in a one-on-one session, I'd love to chat with you guys.
Yeah, this space is moving very quickly. So I'm left with a few questions. But thanks again, and thanks everybody for joining.
Have a great day.